What's up? Welcome to part 2 of Crash Course AP English Language and Composition. Hyperbole is a conscious exaggeration that is used without the intent of literal persuasion. It can be used to heighten effect, or it can be used to produce a comedic effect. When someone says, "I could eat a horse," you know they're not literally meaning that. They're just really hungry, and they might use this hyperbole. Imagery is the use of language to convey a sensory experience, most often through the creation of pictorial images through figurative language. In Sonnet 18, they said, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" We can compare this person to this image of a great, beautiful summer day. Irony is a mode of speech in which words express the meaning opposite of their intended meaning. There are many types of irony, like verbal irony, where the words spoken are ironic, or situational irony, where the setting or thing that is happening is ironic. So in this case, this slippery sign is slipping. That's kind of ironic. Jargon is twittering or gibberish. It usually refers to a specialized language providing a shorthand method of quick communication between people within the same field. They are often used to disguise the inner workings of a particular trade or profession from public scrutiny or from other people so they can't understand. Lending credence. In arguing their point, a writer or speaker should always lend their opponent some credit for the other opponent's ideas. In this way, the writer or speaker actually persuades the audience that they are fair and that they have done their homework, thereby strengthening their own argument. Litotes are a form of understatement in which a thing is affirmed by stating the negative of its opposite. She was not unmindful, when one means she gave careful attention, would be an example of a litotes. Logical fallacies are methods of pseudo-reasoning that may occur accidentally or may be intentionally contrived to lend plausibility to an unsound argument. These include ad hominem, which is an attack against the character of the person instead of the actual issue. Non sequitur. This is an introduction of an irrelevant evidence point to support a claim. Red herring is the use of an irrelevant point to divert attention from the real issue. And slippery slope is a failure to provide evidence showing that one event will lead to a chain of events or catastrophic failure. Logical reasoning. This is the idea that there are principles governing correct or reliable inferences. We have to be logical when we are talking about different viewpoints. And examples of logical appeal could include facts, reasons, and even expert opinion. They're usually concrete and tangible. A loose sentence is a sentence that's grammatically complete at some point before the end. It's the opposite of a periodic sentence. A complex loose sentence consists of an independent clause followed by a dependent clause. Example, I went to the movies yesterday, bought candy, and shopped at the mall. As you can see, the sentence is complete before the end, although it is complete at the end as well. Metaphor is a figure of speech involving an implied comparison. It's not direct. For example, the phrase, "Hannah is a rose," is comparing Hannah to a rose. It's not a direct comparison. Metonymy is characterized by the substitution of a term, naming an object closely associated with the word in mind for the word itself. One example would be substituting the word crown for the king, as these have very similar connotations. The mood is the overall atmosphere of a work. It's what the author is trying to convey. Motifs are in literature. They are recurrent images, words, objects, and phrases, and even actions that tend to unify the work. They're most often leading to things like motives. Patterns of day and night, blonde and brunette, summer and winter, north and south, white and black. These contrasts are frequently motifs in stories. Narration is the story of events and or experiences that tell what has happened. Onomatopoeia is the use of words that by their sound suggest their meaning. Examples would include hiss, buzz, whir, and sizzle. A paradox is a phrase or statement that, while seemingly contradictory or absurd, can actually be well-founded or true and hold meaning. Paradoxes are rhetorical devices that are used to attract attention and also to secure emphasis. Parallelism is the arrangement of parts of a sentence, sentences, paragraphs, and other large units of composition in which one element of equal importance is paired with another one. These two elements are similarly developed and phrased. So the sentence, we wanted to cook and to swim. The words to cook and to swim maintain that parallel nature. A periodic sentence is a sentence not grammatically complete before the end. It's the opposite of a loose sentence. The characteristics of a periodic sentence is that its construction is used as constantly to throw the mind forward to the idea that will complete the meaning. It draws the reader in to the end. An example would be, despite the blinding snow, the freezing temperatures, and the heightened threat of attack from polar bears. At this point, we're really trying to see, what happens next? The team continued, and that finally concludes the sentence. Personification is attributing human characteristics to non-human things. For example, the flowers smiled at Olivia. Flowers can't smile, obviously. Point of view is a term used in the analysis and criticism of fiction to describe the way in which the reader is presented with the materials of the story, regarded from another angle, the vantage point from which the author presents the actions of the story. We can have points of views from the first person, which is basically from your own, the second person, which is talking about you or your to someone else, and third person, which is talking from an outsider's point of view. Polysyndeton is the repetition of conjunctions in close succession for rhetorical effect. An example would be here and there and everywhere. Process analysis is a method of clarifying the nature of something by explaining how it works in separate and easy-to-understand steps. Recipes are common examples of a process analysis, as are IKEA furniture assembly instructions. Repetition is a rhetorical device reiterating a word or a phrase. It's rewording the same idea to secure emphasis of a certain idea. A rhetorical question is asked solely to produce an effect and not to elicit a reply. These are commonly found in speeches. One example would be, do you think it's ethical for Trevor Packer to make $429,000 when millions of teachers don't even make 1/10 of that? Is education a human right? These are questions, but they're not really trying to ask you to say yes or no. They're just there to state a point. Rhetorical strategies are methods and techniques that speakers use to achieve their speaking goals. These commonly include things like ethos, pathos, and logos. Satire is a technique that ridicules both people and societal institutions. It uses comedy and iron wit, and oftentimes also exaggeration. A simile is a figure of speech that involves a comparison using like or as. For example, she is as lovely as a summer's day. This compares someone to a summer's day, using the words as. A simple sentence is a complete sentence that is neither compound nor complex. Example, I like eating bananas. Spin in politics is when harmful situations are sometimes played in the media as philanthropic endeavors. Labeling the war on Iraq as murdering an evil leader sounds much better than anything else. Also, President Bush's spin doctors have coined the title Operation Iraqi Freedom to portray the war as something we're doing a service to for the Iraqi people. Style is the author's characteristic manner of expression. Style includes the type of words used, their placement, and distinctive features of writing, such as tone, imagery, figurative language, sound, and even rhythm. A syllogism is a formula for presenting an argument logically. The syllogism affords a method of demonstrating the logic of an argument through analysis that makes sense to everyone. In its simplest form, it consists of 3 divisions: a major premise, a minor premise, and a final conclusion. Example, a major premise would be, all public libraries should serve the people. A minor premise would be, this is a public library. Therefore, we can conclude, therefore, this library should serve the people. Sometimes syllogisms make sense, and other times they can be used in the wrong sense. A symbol is something concrete, such as an object, person, place, or event, that stands for or represents something abstract, such as an idea, quality, concept, or condition. Plastic has been a symbol of consumerism. Synecdoche is a type of figurative language in which the whole is used for the part, and this part is used for the whole as well. An example would be Wall Street, which is used to refer to the money market or financial affairs of the entire United States. Syntax is the pattern or structure of the word in a sentence or phrase. It's the study of grammatical structure. Tone is the voice the writer has chosen to project in relation to the readers. For example, this could include seriousness, lightheartedness, or other tones. It's also produced by the combined effect of word choice, sentence structure, and purpose, and also reflects the writer's attitude toward a certain subject. Finally, voice is the implied personality the author chooses to adopt. In fiction, the voice may be the same as the author's or reflect a persona that projects quite different views from the author's, as a complete antithesis. Thanks so much for watching Crash Course AP English Language and Composition, where we talked all about rhetorical choices. Make sure to check out the entire AP playlist over here, and also subscribe if you haven't already. Like, comment, and share with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and hope to see you in another one.